I always like to check out some of these 1/12 action figure custom bodies, so is this one any good? Let's find out. Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna take a look at Jet Studio 1/12 movable female body. I don't think that I ever reviewed anything from them, so I'm very interested in seeing what we have here. But before that, a huge thank you to Bombusbee store for sending me this review sample. If you're interested in this figure or any other official or third-party action figure, I suggest you check out Bombusbee. They have a great selection of action figures, so give them a look. Maybe you'll find just the thing that you are looking for. Link is in the video description. First, a quick look at the packaging, and it's a really simple little box that is very light and it doesn't look like an action figure packaging. On the front side we have the writing and an image of a transparent body showing like the mechanical construction of the figure. Down here it only says Jet. Back of the box only has a warning text telling you to handle the figure with care and not to push its movement over the limits. But the rest of it, all sides of the box are white, nothing to see. So now, let's open it up and let's take a look at the figure. Here is the figure out of the box, and the first thing that you can notice is that there is no head. Yeah, this is literally just the body and two soft goods parts of clothing. From my experience, most of the time studios that are making custom bodies tend to give you some kind of head, at least a generic one. But these guys decided not to do it, which is a shame. This is as a basic set as you can get. That doesn't mean that this is a bad product, not at all. In fact, the quality of plastic feels really good, nice and sturdy. Now, standing like this without the head, this body is around 13 centimeters tall. I don't have that many female figures in my collection, but the one that I have here at the moment is this custom female body by Crazy Figure Company, and we can try and see how will this head look on this other body. There is an obvious size difference between the two, so I don't have high expectations. And yeah, the head is too big for this body. This looks like a little girl standing next to a grown woman. So if you don't mind, we'll continue this review without a head on this figure. And this one I still have to review, but that will come to the channel a bit later. Taking a closer look at the details, there's actually not much to see here. There is no muscle definition, everything is kind of basic except the torso. Here we have a collarbone sculpted and even abdominal muscles. While on the back we have the middle line of the spine. Upper part of the torso is an overlay made out of a soft rubbery plastic, so for example, when you move the neck, which is obviously not a separately sculpted piece, it bends and holds the position. But again, arms and legs are smooth without any muscle definition. Here is a closer look at the default hand, and then the feet that are also made out of a slightly softer plastic than the rest of the body. Soft goods underwear is also kind of simple, but they are practically a placeholder until you put something else on the figure. After all, it is a base body for customizing. Let's now take a look at the accessories, and in this set we only get some alternate hands. We have a total of 4 pairs of hands. A default fisted hands that can also be used as a sword or knife holding hands are already on the figure. Then we get a pair of gripping hands, and then another similar gripping hand, and when we compare the two, you can see that they are not actually identical. This one on the left has a pinky finger in a slightly different position. Then we have this open hand, and finally a pair of pointing hands, or they can also be used as trigger finger hands. And to switch out the hands, this is fairly easy. You can see that they pop off without any issues. Here is the wrist joint. It looks thick and sturdy, and we can put on one of the pointing hands like this, and yeah, it fits without any issues. Let's now take a look at the articulation. Up here at the top of the neck you can see the ball joint that is inside of the rubbery overlay piece, and as you already saw, this is bendable and it does articulate, it does move even side to side, and this is how far it bends forward, but it has an issue of bending back. It doesn't bend back at all. Only the head will probably go back on this ball joint, but everything else side to side and forward is pretty good. We do have a butterfly joint that is working very good, and only now I've noticed the skin difference. You can see that there is a different tone of the skin of the torso in comparison to the legs and arms. Do you see that? Up here is more pinkish, while the arms and the legs are more pale. That's strange, but again, it's a body for customizing, so a lot of this will maybe be covered, you know, so it's fine. But as I said, the butterfly joint works nicely, and this is how far the arms can go across the chest, and this is how far they go across the back. And here you can see the mechanism inside of the butterfly joint. It is missing the usual cover that we see on most of action figures, so there is a huge gap here. But again, you see the ball joint, and this is where you get your back and forward movement, and also a little bit of drop down in that ball joint. This is how far the arm moves out, and then of course you get a full 360 rotation. We have a nice bicep swivel, double jointed elbow that is really good. Look at this, it bends all the way. And then we have a standard swivel in the wrists and a hinge in all directions. We have two cuts in the torso, one is up here and the other one is down here, and so on this upper one you get a nice range of movement, and you get practically almost the same thing on this lower joint. So together they give you some nice side-to-side tilt. Bending forward, this is the range that you get, but bending back is much better, especially at the upper joint, as you can see. But the downside is that you will get this gap here, of course, but again, it's a really nice movement in the torso. There is no drop down in the hips, but this is how far the legs move out, and then this is how far they move forward and back. We have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees that bend this far, then there is a swivel in the ankles, and feet move forward this much, back this much, and we get a nice ankle pivot. Let's now compare this custom body to some other figures. We already saw this comparison, but this is Crazy Figure 112 action figure, female body for customizing, and you can see how much taller it is in comparison to this one. And then to compare her to few more 112 bodies for customizing, here she is next to the V-Toys Figure Body Zero that I'm turning into my custom Punisher, and Nota Studios Nota Man, the NT01 body with custom soft goods. And you can see how small she is in comparison to these two guys. Here's how she scales with original Mayfax Gambit and City Toys Brown Suit Wolverine. Here is how she looks next to the original Mayfax Classic Spider-Man and Daredevil. Here is how she scales with the original SHF Tobey Spider-Man and Sentinel Peter B. Parker. Here she is next to Marvel Legends Symbiote Spidey and X-Men 97 Wolverine, and then with City Toys knockoff of Revoltech Agent Venom and an AliExpress knockoff of Revoltech 2.0 Deadpool. Here she is with Black Series Vader and Stormtrooper, and then here she is with some larger figures like NECA TMNT movie Raphael and Masters of the Universe Revelation He-Man. And finally, here is how she scales with Savage Crucible Veteris Repax and Yellow Park Transformers AMK Pro Series Optimus Prime. So there you go, that was my review of Jet Studio 112 movable female body. This is a nice little set, a basic one if you are looking for a nicely articulated female body in this scale. The sculpt is also very basic, so don't expect to see much details here, but in terms of movement, I would say that this is a great option. You can get a lot of dynamic poses out of this body, so if you are looking for something like this, there you go. The downside of this set is the number of accessories. You only get few alternate hands, you don't get any basic head, and the figure is shorter than your standard figure in this scale, although that might not be a bad thing because it's a female body. All in all, I do like it for what it is, and I do recommend it if you are a customizer. Once again, a huge thank you to the guys from Bombusbee store for sending this set for a review. If you're interested in getting this figure or some other official or third-party figures, check out Bombusbee store. Link is in the video description. That's it from me, and now I would love to hear you guys. What do you think about this figure? Do you like what you see? Are you a customizer and do you plan on getting one of these for your collection? Let me know all of it down in the comments. As always, a huge thank you to my Patreon and channel members for their support. If you can also join and help, please do so. Links are in the video description. And of course, to all of you guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next video.